Hi, or should I say pie?
Happy Pie Day, everybody.
Yes, happy Pie Day. Today, our entire Trek on Tuesday is dedicated to one of our favorite desserts and one of our favorite numbers, pie.
Which is better, the dessert or the number?
We're going to ask you a
Let us
lot of
know in the
questions.
comments. Exactly.
Yeah, we're going to ask you
Yes.
a lot of questions today. We're asking you to chime in with your answers. Aaron has posed the first question. What's better, pie the number or pie the pizza? Xavier is watching. Hello, Pack 817. Hello, Pack 38 and Troop 38. Thanks for tuning in. I've got another question for you. Right next to me, I have a little mini pie my mom brought me.
That looks delicious. Do you know what kind of pie is it?
Well, that's what I want the audience to guess. Can you guess what kind of pie this is? All I can show you is the outside, and you're going to have to use your Sherlock Holmes abilities to decide what kind of pie this is.
I can tell you just from looking at it, it's not my number one favorite kind of pie.
Oh, I bet I know what that is.
My number one favorite kind of pie has shifted over the years. Currently, you want to guess?
It could be one of two, knowing that you don't like, or that it doesn't look like this pie. I'm thinking it's either pumpkin or key lime.
It is one of those two.
I bet it's pumpkin.
I do love pumpkin pie.
It's key lime?
I only really eat that on the holidays. Yeah, key lime pie is really my favorite pie. For many years, I was actually like a chocolate mousse guy, like a chocolate pie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's delicious. But recently, key lime
chocolate
is kind
pudding
of my
pie?
jam. Just something like that, right? Any kind of chocolate with the little white deliciousness on top of it.
Now, this is all shocking based on your cookie preferences.
Well, you can't try to explain me.
No,
it's unexplainable.
An enigma
It doesn't work.
is what we always say about Aaron.
But the real question is, what kind of pie was Gina just holding in her hand?
What kind of pie? So we are getting some answers at the top of the show.
Pie. That sounds delicious, actually.
I've never even heard of sweet potato pie. That does sound so good, Corey. Wendy says pizza pie for the win. We asked, if you had to choose, would you choose pie the number or pie the food? Xavier says happy Pie Day, and he spelled it correctly. Really, technically, today is Pie Day, P-I, because it is March 14th. Here we denote that as 3/14, which brings me to another important question. Does anyone in Europe celebrate Pie Day? Because they do not put dates in the same order, right?
They flip them, right?
3, right? Or something like that.
That's a great question. That's kind of only a North American thing, right? I don't know.
Right.
That's a great question. Yeah.
So probably somebody's international and can tell us.
Yes, we always have international viewers. Let us know if it's not Pie Day where you are.
So far we want to know, do you vote for pie as in the food or pie as in the number? What kind of pie do you think this little pie is? and do you think that in Europe they celebrate Pie Day?
And I'm going to add one more to that list. Xavier says he's not much of a pie fan, P-I-E. Xavier, I think maybe you just haven't tried the right kind of pie yet. So we're going to need our viewers to let Xavier know what kind of pie he needs to try. He says he's not a pie fan. That to me is like saying I don't like to read. Well, that just means you haven't found the right thing to read yet, right?
Well, you don't like cookies, so.
I like some cookies. This has to be the right ones.
I can see not liking a pie, but let me ask you this, Xavier. Is cheesecake a pie? Is it? Is pizza a pie? I need to know what you guys think. Is cheesecake a pie, Aaron? Thoughts?
Is cheesecake a pie? No, it's a cake.
And what distinguishes a pie from a cake?
Boy, this is a great question. It has to do, obviously, with the ingredients. A cake is made, primary ingredient number 1, flour. Pie, the primary ingredient is not flour.
Okay, so cheesecake?
Flour.
Is that true?
Have
you ever seen a cheesecake or tasted it?
I love cheesecake.
Okay.
Oreo cookies on the top.
Xavier's taken the question up a notch. Is cereal soup?
Is a hot dog a sandwich, right? I mean, there are tons of questions like this. We could go on and on. There are no answers.
Yeah, I think that I love these kind of questions. Hello to Pack 84. And Corey also brings up another pie.
Geez, Corey, that's a great one. Yes.
We think dessert, but no. What about chicken pot pie?
I am still traumatized from my childhood. I still remember my mom me asking, what are we having for dinner? And her saying chicken pot pie. And all I heard was the pie part. And I thought, holy cow, we're having dessert for dinner. This is going to be the best dinner ever. Instead, it was chicken and vegetables and stuff like that. Not what I wanted, but I do kind of like chicken pot pie now, actually.
Yeah. And it's just crazy to think something like your favorite kind of pie, key lime, and chicken pot pie, they both exist in the same universe.
It's the same family, right? Almost. Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
they're
Yes.
related.
Right. It is crazy. Yes. Now, Gina, when you heard that today was Pie Day, when you first got up this morning, maybe hopped on Twitter or whatever, without looking it up, did you know what pi, P-I, was? Do you know what that mathematical formula is?
Oh, the formula? No,
Well,
I know the symbol and I know the first three numbers involved.
So you know the symbol, it's a Greek symbol, I think, right?
And
And it's
you want to
called
know
pi,
why I
Pi.
knew? Because I was in a sorority and we would, if we had a GPA that was above the number, we got to have what was called a pie party where we would eat pie.
That is awesome. So you know the number was 3.4. Can you go any more digits than that?
Well, it's 3.14.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. 3.14. Thank you, Gina. I misspoke.
I'm officially the resident pie expert. No, that's literally all I know. I know that it's 3.14. Oh, and a lot more.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a number that literally never ends, which I don't know that I can wrap my brain around that. It has to end at some point. How can it be a number that never ends? I was kind of surprised. I fact checked myself, and I do remember from all those years ago. So how they get the number 3.4, you take the circumference of a circle, right, which is the number you go around it. You divide it by the diameter, which is the length across the circle. And the answer is
the radius?
Pi. The answer is pi.
Oh.
No matter how big the circle is or how small the circle is. Yep.
Well, and there's also I guess the opposite is if you don't have the circumference and you have the radius, you could.
That's exactly right.
I just don't understand how anyone ever figured that out.
Times pi equals the radius of the circle.
How did anyone ever figure out that a number that never ends?
Yes, and you know this debate and discussions about pi go back like 6,000 years, Gina, into like ancient Babylon. They were trying to figure this out. Now I'm not sure that I understand why. Why were they so interested in how you measure all that?
But yes,
for mathematical principles, pi is important. I'm not sure that I understand why it is, but it's a big deal apparently. And you know that they didn't always have the number exactly right. Only in relatively modern day did they figure out the exact number, which behind the scenes Brian just had up on the screen. They actually at one point thought it was like, I want to say, I thought it was like the first time they figured it out, it was 3.125. So they got it, they were close.
Oh.
But for 6,000 years ago, I mean, it's not that bad, right?
Okay.
3.125. Then they had 3.16. And it wasn't until, relatively speaking, 400 years ago that they finally figured out it's 3.14. And then all those numbers that come after it.
Well, Aaron, do you know why you should never engage in a conversation with pi?
No, I don't know why, Gina.
Because he'll just go on forever.
For those I
have a serious question. I have a serious question.
Yes.
It actually is a serious question. So when you're on a calculator, oftentimes there's a pi symbol and you use it.
Yes.
How accurate, how detailed does that pi symbol go?
Guess what, Gina? It depends on the calculator. So on your phone calculator, you have to turn it sideways to get the pi, is what I learned today. And so you can see how far down my pi goes. How many? That's about 20 or so digits, right? I think most calculators maybe don't quite go that far. So I think it depends on the kind of machine you're using. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly right. But pi is a big deal. And it is a mathematical constant, which means it never changes no matter how the size of the circle, no matter how big it gets, no matter how small the circle. The concept of pi never changed. And that's a big deal. I don't really understand why, but it's a big deal for some reason. But anyway.
Okay. Well, interesting. Yeah. I just wonder how exact you can get then when you're trying to calculate a circle circumference using pi.
Yes.
Probably very close.
You would think, yeah. Because a circle is generally a little bit more than 3 times in circumference than the radius. I'm sorry, the diameter. How much more than 3 times? 0.14,
Pie.
and then depending exactly. Yeah. So
now, have you ever heard of why dentists don't like to put what they do like to put in their pies? This
what
is related.
Dentists do like to put in their pies. Fluoride, toothpaste.
Well, this really gets to the heart of what we were talking about earlier when we said, is cheesecake a pie? Dentists like to put in their pie fillings.
Ryan says there's no flour in a good cheesecake. So we need to know more about that.
I don't think that cheesecake has flour.
Maybe there's flour in bad cheesecake. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
maybe I haven't been doing it right. I honestly don't know.
You make cheesecake, Aaron?
All the time. Yeah. Actually.
Walk us through the process. This is how we'll all know if Aaron makes a cheesecake or not. Please.
Xavier asks, why are bee hairs sticky? I don't know, Xavier. I look forward to hearing the answer.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear that.
Xavier's telling jokes. That's good. We appreciate that.
Some recipes for cheesecake contain a small amount of starch, such as flour or cornstarch. Those have more of a cake-like texture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to type in something into google.com, and it is cheesecake. Oh, it's already filled it out for me. Is cheesecake a pie? It's composed of a somewhat pastry shell with custard-like filling and sometimes fruit. Okay, since cheesecake isn't topped with pastry, it isn't a pie. It cannot be a pie.
Now we're into something here.
But now we've got a whole other can of worms.
Then pie is something that's topped.
Is key lime pie a pie?
Yeah, because you put stuff on top of it. You put little stuff on. That little white, fluffy, delicious sugar thing.
I'm asking Google, is key lime pie a pie?
That white, I don't know, what is that called that you put on top? You put on chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
White, that's...
This is confusing. Maybe it's because the crust doesn't always go up the back. If you guys are at home and you have opinions on this, chime in. Also, I'm curious, can you guess, just from looking at the outside of this pie, what kind of pie it is?
Yes, we still haven't answered what kind of pie does Gina have right there. And by the way, Brian says what you put on top of a pie is whipped cream. Yeah, I think so. But I think that you could also put something...
You can put whipped cream on...
You can put whipped cream on cake.
Cheesecake.
Which guys, is not a pie.
Chime in. Is cheesecake a pie?
Meringue. Brian, I think that's the word I was looking for. Behind the scenes, Brian chimes in with meringue, which I think maybe is the word that I was looking for. Mm-hmm. Lemon meringue pie. That's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm. But it's not the same as key lime, is it?
No, totally different.
Now, here's one definition of pie. An individually baked pastry, typically with a top and base of pastry dough that has been rolled flat, then shaped into a round or square shape. The filling covers the crust and can be sweet or savory. Cheesecake seems to meet both of these criteria. That's what Collins Street Bakery, you may be familiar with Collins Street Bakery in Texas. That's what they have to say. So I don't know. It sounds like it's up for debate.
I think it is too. Corey guesses that pie that you have, I think you're guessing that it's peach.
Okay.
Are you not going to tell us yet, Gina?
No, I'm going to save it. I think that behind the scenes, Brian might have guessed that it's a meat pie. I don't know if that's what he's guessing. He might even be guessing that my pie's a meringue pie. I don't know if those are his guesses, but I want to commend him for guessing.
The meringue comment is what I'm trying to figure out with the stuff you put on top of pie.
Xavier thinks it might be a potato pie.
Could be. I don't think it's a meat pie. I guess, is it okay if I guess now or do I need to wait?
You may guess.
I'm very influential. I'm kind of an influencer, Gina, so I don't want to influence our viewers too much.
Please guess.
I think it's an apple pie.
Okay. This is tricky. I wouldn't necessarily know what kind of pie this is, so please keep the guess coming.
That tells me it's not an apple pie because that's the obvious guess.
Yes.
Peach pie is a good guess, and peach pie is delicious, by the way.
I've never had peach pie. That does sound very, very good. Now, on scoutlife.org, we have jokes about everything. We've got pie jokes. We've got pie comics. If you search pie jokes on scoutlife.org, you're going to find a whole bunch of jokes and comics like this one. Do you get it, Aaron?
No need for a box. We'll just throw it here. I don't really get it. I guess because they throw a pie in someone's face. Is that what they're saying?
The clown is saying, like, don't bother boxing it up. We're just going to throw the pie here because they are going to throw pies at each other because they're clowns.
So why would you want to put it in a box? they're just going to have to take it out of the box and throw it at each other or something.
Right. It's like when you don't want your shoes put in a bag because you're going to wear them at the store.
Yes, what a great analogy.
Yes. Now, Aaron, you have a sister. I know that. So if you eat half an apple pie and your sister eats the other half, what are you left with?
You're left with nothing. It's all gone.
You're left with really angry parents. Your parents would not be happy if you guys ate that pie before they got to have some.
That's a good one. That is definitely a good pie joke. Gina, thank you very much.
Yes. Xavier's also guessing cantaloupe pie. That's another creative pie idea. I've never had that.
Never had cantaloupe pie. If it doesn't exist, it should.
Omid is tuning in. Yes. I'm curious. Omid, you're international. Does anyone else besides the U.S. celebrate Pie Day? Do you celebrate Pie Day?
Yes.
Let us know.
Finally, someone who can answer.
Yeah.
Because Pie Day here, it's important that the month, March 3, go before the day, 3/14. That's not how they do it, though, everywhere in the world. Right. So if it's 14.3.2023 or / or whatever, it's not really Pie Day, right?
Right. Now, I want to tell just like a dessert related joke. Okay. So get pie out of your head. Get it out. Which snake likes baked desserts?
Which snake likes baked desserts? So obviously the snake that likes baked desserts is, I don't know.
A python. I tricked you.
You told me to get pie out of my mind, Gina.
It was still pie.
You told me not to think about pie. I fell for it. I can't believe I fell for that. Dang it.
Aaron, a few minutes ago, Ryan said Dutch oven chicken pot pie is great. It's almost like he knew what we were going to talk about today.
Yes, Dutch oven chicken pot pie is good, though. I think kind of any kind of pie, any food cooked in a Dutch oven is delicious. If it's a pie, it's probably even more delicious.
It's the perfect place to bake a pie. Now, I don't think that we've tried chicken pot pie particularly, but we've tried a variety of Thanksgiving pies in the Dutch oven, and we actually have a video to show you guys on a quick tutorial on how to make, I believe it's like a cranberry apple pie, if memory serves.
We're about to find out. It's going to be delicious.
Yeah, just watch it once, and then we will share the link so you can watch this video in the long run too.
Let's do it.
Oh, we can comment. No, we can't.
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can. We can comment.
Cranberry pie.
Cranberry and
something else.
Nuts. It said something else. Apple.
Cranberry apple pie, I think that's what it was. It does look pretty delicious.
Oh, yeah. So this would be a great Thanksgiving pie, but it could be just any good time of year pie. Cranberries are delicious all year round.
Totally.
Certainly a late winter pie. Tapioca. I like the touch of the tapioca in there. That thickens up that custardy kind of filling.
Yep. Delicious.
Now, there's no question this is a pie. It has a pie crust on top. We know that basically takes any debate away. If it's got the crust on top, it's a pie. And just because you're doing it in a Dutch oven doesn't mean you can't fancy it up a little bit with some star decor.
Yes, I know. I'm so impressed with the really, really good Dutch oven bakers. It looks incredible. Not only does it taste good, the presentation is incredible. Anytime I've used a Dutch oven, it tastes good, but it doesn't look as good look at that.
It's beautiful.
It's a miracle.
It's really beautiful, crispy, golden. I feel like there's no better way to make a pie. And remember, you can use a Dutch oven in your stove. If you don't have coals and everything going, you can definitely bake in your stove with a pie. The parchment paper is key, though, so you can get it out.
That's great. Yep, great idea.
Now, Aaron,
I'm hungry.
Yes, this is going to be a really fun segment where you tell us how you think cheesecake is made.
I've already told you how cheesecake is made. You take flour, sugar, and cheese, and you mix it up, and it comes out as a cake.
Now, I have to say I've never made cheesecake myself, but what I do know is that it is a very long process, like a day long affair or more.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yes. So happy Pie Day, everybody. We are asking you to chime in the comments. We'll be live for just a few more minutes. We have some important questions, okay? First, what do you prefer? Pie the number, pie the day, pie the day, or pie the... Okay, sorry. Pie the number or pie the pie?
I think, yes, the question is, you prefer which pie is better, the number or the food? I think that's the basic question. Yes.
Yes, right. I threw myself off by trying to read the comments at the same time. So that's an important question.
Yes. Why don't you answer that question for yourself real quick, though? What's better, pie the number or pie the food?
The food.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Me too.
I'm amazed by the number, though. I cannot discount how amazing it is that somebody somewhere found out that this was a number you needed for an important math equation.
I think that I am not smart enough to really comprehend the significance of pi, the number, but I am smart enough to comprehend the significance of pie, the food. So that's probably why, given a choice of the two, I take the food probably.
I can appreciate it. I just have so many questions about why does it go on so long? And how do we know it goes on so long?
Exactly. Yes.
It's confusing.
Well, I can tell you, we didn't used to know it went along that long.
Only 400 years ago.
Yes, 1,000. Excuse me. So yes, exactly. It's a miracle of relatively modern science.
Yeah, go us. So then another question that we were asking you guys is, what kind of pie is this little pie? I'll reveal that in just a few minutes. Just take your best guess. It's just your ordinary pie. Another thing people were voting on is about some common foods. And are they pies or are they not? Is pizza a pie? Is a cheesecake a pie? And Aaron tossed out a really important one. Is a hot dog a sandwich? And Xavier brought up a really good one too, which is cereal a soup? I don't know why cereal wouldn't be a soup.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheesecake is a cake. It's literally right there in the name. Pizza is not a pie. We just call it that because it is shaped like a pie. It's cut into slices like a pie, but it is not technically a pie. That is one delicious looking Pinewood Derby car, though, right there.
Well, Aaron, speaking of pizza and pies, something I do know about pizza and pies, that the origin of, at least where we think, they were invented a long time ago. And what we think was the origin of how these things were made, it's cited as both the origin of pies and pizza. So you tell me, maybe they are the same. Back in the day, like warriors, like Viking warriors would use their shields and like get them hot and use them as like a cooking surface. So, they're like putting something like bread down and then anything they could find and forage on top of it and eat it. So
really,
maybe that's why it's called pizza pie. I don't know.
How did you know that?
Pod-ask.
Okay. All right. Very good.
It's a podcast from Scout Life. You guys can check it out. It is. It doesn't take too much digging to find it on scoutlife.org. Xavier says he made a banana car for Pinewood Derby. Xavier, you're going to love what we have to show you. This is a hilarious car. It looks delicious.
It does look delicious. What kind of pie is that, do you think?
Cherry?
Yeah, cherry
But
pie.
who's that little character, I wonder?
Yeah, I don't know. I almost was going to say strawberry shortcake, but that doesn't make sense, right? It's
could
somebody,
be.
Yeah.
It definitely could be. If you know at home, let us know. Aaron, just a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know the roundest knight at King Arthur's Round Table was circumference?
Sir, S-I-R, circumference, 2 words.
Yes, he acquired his size from too much pie.
I thought the joke was just circumference.
Nope.
It got even better because it just went on after that. Yes, it's great.
It's a two-parter. Yeah. What do you call a large pastry? Oh, we already did that one, and it was so funny. What's a ghost's favorite dessert?
A ghost? Wow, that's a good one. What is a ghost favorite dessert? I don't know what.
Blueberry pie.
Yes. I've never had blueberry pie. I have had blueberry pie. It's good. Not my favorite, but it's good.
Okay, this one, you guys are going to have to help me fully understand. A country boy goes off to college. His father phones to see how he's doing. I'm doing great in algebra, the son says. So say something in algebra, the father says. Pi r squared. What, says the father? Everybody knows that cornbread is squared. Pies are round. I get it.
Pi r squared. The dad thought he
It was making
saying
fun of country
pi
people.
r. It kind of was a little bit. Yes, pi r a r e. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I'm
dad
from
just
the
didn't get it.
country, and
I think it's
I
making fun of
knew.
dads. The dads just didn't get that.
Yeah,
The dad
it's a
didn't get it.
total dad move.
Yes,
I agree with that.
Right.
Well, we have also got some more comics to show you guys, and I know that you're on the edge of your seat because in a few minutes I'll be revealing what kind of pie this is. Should I do it now?
Well, I've placed my guess. My guess is I'm going with basic apple. I think
Apple.
that is. Brian guessed meat pie.
Okay.
So now, yeah, I mean, I think might as well. Is it time to reveal it?
It's not, because we have one more thing to reveal.
Okay.
You guys have, I'm going to start a countdown for 30 seconds. I want you to comment with your favorite pie in the comments. We're going to see if it comes out the same as what our Scout Life Readers poll came up with for favorite pie. And then I'll reveal what kind of little pie I have. I'm really dragging this out.
That's a great question though. Favorite pie, many options.
We know yours.
Are we gonna limit to actual pies, or can people vote for cheesecake?
That's not a fair question. Aaron would be
Can
typing
people
key
vote
lime
for
pie.
pizza? I would be typing key lime.
And is that
Yes,
a
I
pie?
would.
Does anyone think it's a pie?
Key lime pie is literally, it's in the name. It's a pie.
Well, you
for
said
sure.
pizza pie wasn't a pie.
Pizza pie is not. Well, people call it pizza pie, but that's not really the name. It's just pizza.
Aaron, it's true. It's called pizza pie to some people. Why do you get to decide?
Because I'm the one who's right.
Okay, let's reveal what our readers' favorite pie is.
Yeah. I mean, apple pie is pretty darn good.
I agree.
I probably would, even though I think I might like pumpkin pie better than apple pie.
I love pumpkin and apple. I've never really given pecan pie a chance, because the thing is, most of the occasions where I've had pie, it's like Thanksgiving and there's a few pies and you have to choose one, and it's just, I'm not trying anything new.
It's not my top choice. Exactly. At a Thanksgiving presentation, there's almost always multiple pies to choose from. How delicious is that? If pecan pie was the only one there, I would absolutely eat it, but it's not my top choice when I have to choose between apple and pumpkin, I think.
Well, Aaron, the time
Do you
is
put
come.
ice cream on your pie?
Oh yeah. If it's available, I will. Whipped cream, also great.
Yes.
Again, we've got to give another shout out for pies that are savory. We've talked a lot about sweet pies, but there are, different various kind of meat pies. Chicken pot pie is a favorite for many, I know. So potato pie.
There are tons of savory pies out there. Yes. And kids disappointed all over the world right now. Not right now, but when their parents tell them they're having pie,
and they say,
only to find out it's like meat and vegetables. Ugh.
Oh, chicken pot pie is so good.
It is good, but when you're a kid expecting pie, it's not what you want.
Okay, if you are wondering what to eat for dinner tonight, you're searching, you're trying to plan for your family, I suggest chicken pot pie. Perfect. And if you are on the edge of your seat because you want to know what kind of pie this is,
apple.
Aaron, you want to keep it apple?
Apple. Yes.
This is an old-fashioned, wild blueberry pie.
Holy cow, is it really?
It really is a blueberry pie.
Wow, yeah. Holy cow, that's impressive. I never would have guessed that.
They're wild blueberries.
I bet it's going to be delicious. Gina's going to probably chow down as soon as she's done here.
I'm going to put some ice cream on it for sure. Everybody at home, I hope you get to have some pie today, or maybe in the next week, or maybe in the next month, or maybe you don't like pie, and that's okay too. You can have cheesecake if you're Aaron.
Happy Pie Day to everyone. Thank you for answering all of our very important pie questions. We solved a lot of the world's important problems today in the last 30 minutes. Thanks to you, the viewer. We could not have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. Please tune in for Cub Chat Live this Friday. Gina and I will see you next Tuesday on another Trek on Tuesday.
Right.
Enjoy the rest of the week, everybody. Happy Pie Day. Bye.